Wheels on Wheels is here to do two things. Be horny with this local band, and he's already horny. You do the math.
Unhinged Meltdown. A very, very long time. We took a not needed hiatus, unfortunately. And I just want to give a shout out to Motion Picture Mindset for recording our own original intro song. And now, without any further ado, I want to introduce our very first, this is a first, second guest that we've had them on once before, and now we have them on once again. Ladies and gentlemen, the DayRollers.
Yay! Woo!
They sound so excited to be here.
Always.
So we're not going to touch base on this, but it's we have 2/3 of DayRollers, and we have Ross and the individual who doesn't think Tom Holland is a great Spider-Man, but that's neither here nor there. I'm giving you crap, Dave. I'm really just giving you crap. So we have Dave and Ross with us. So the first thing I want to go with you guys is it's been about 1.5 years since I had you guys on the show, maybe even longer. But what has DayRollers been up to since we had you on the show?
We dropped a new CD back in April. I can't think of anything notable other than the fact that we dropped a new album. I mean, we've been out gigging and supporting that. But
we picked up a bass player here not too long ago. We're excited about that. That's been really cool.
So you guys are back to a 4-piece again.
We are.
Awesome. And you guys had a few songs on 95 Will Rock for the homegrown hit of the day.
Yeah, Choices was on there and Painted Black was on there, and they both got puffed.
Well, why wouldn't they?
That's a good question.
Why wouldn't they?
I think next time I think we're going to try After the Crown.
Which is the first song we're going to play. But Ross, I know you filled in for a little bit with another band that will be on here soon. And we had Ross Resistance.
Yeah.
How was that, working with Resistance?
It was a lot of fun. I love those guys and girl. They're awesome people. It was nice to take a back seat in somebody else's ride and see how they drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you even got a commemorative shirt, a one of a kind.
Yeah, I did.
That's just, I thought, I saw that shirt and I just died. And
when they first gave it to me, I didn't even notice that it had my picture or that it said Ross on it.
For those of you that don't know, Resistance logo is an R with the fist going through it. And instead of the fist going through it, it was a silhouette of Ross playing guitar, and it said, instead of Resistance, it said Ross Resistance. And that is a one-of-a-kind shirt that Ross has.
Yeah, it'll be on eBay for 10 grand.
What's that?
Said it'll be on eBay soon for 10 grand.
Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, because me personally, I know Ross and I have talked about this extensively. I've listened to the first CD, not saying I do not like the first CD. Ross and I have talked about this. I enjoy it much. But the second CD, this new CD that just came out in April, it's a massive change in direction. Do you want to explain like how that happened and to the listeners here of why the change happened and what it meant for you guys as a band?
It was a big difference between the first album and this album on how we wrote the material. This one was, the first album, we pretty much each individually wrote our own songs and brought them to the table. But this album, it was a lot more collaborative, where everybody was involved pretty much from the beginning to the end. But I think I had more of a hand this time around, because when I joined last time, most of the songs already existed. You know, I was the new guy at the time, and I just iced the cake with my leads. But this time, we actually all got to get down and write together, and I'm happy to influence it a little more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So usually when we jam, I'll play a riff, and sometimes Dave's ears will perk up, and he'll ask me what that is, and then we'll start jamming it. A lot of times that's how a song starts.
And we come from like a hard rock background. We grew up early 2000s listening to Shinedown and all that hard rock stuff we were really influenced by. And when we had our band in high school, we really did hard rock a lot, so we kind of enjoyed playing that. And now that we got Seb a little bit more on board with that stuff, that style of music, we're able to kind of write with it now and give more of a punch to the DayRollers.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, the first we're going to play, which you dropped a hint on a little bit earlier, is a key factor in this new sound. Those of you that have heard the old DayRollers that haven't heard the new stuff yet, my first question is, what's your problem? And seriously, like, it's been out since April. We're going into 2019 almost, or 2020. Jeez. Wow, it's almost 2020. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
But the first song we're going to play is After the Crown, which I was listening before I went to the CD release show, Bonfire, and I was like, oh my goodness, the new DayRollers album is on Deezer. And I was listening to it. And Ross and I were texting back and forth as I was telling him, I'm like, dude, your new CD is out and I'm loving it. And the first song that caught my attention was the first track, After the Crown, because it sounds nothing like the first album. So is there like an in-depth meaning behind After the Crown, or is this you guys just saying, hey, we can get hard?
Well, After the Crown, After the Crown is kind of about making a comeback and fighting for something that you want. If that makes sense, because God, I can't think of the lyrics right now.
Well, you're not the singer, so.
Well, I don't actually no. That's actually incorrect. I actually sing the lead on that song.
Oh well.
That's a rough song.
Like, I love that song. I really do.
It's basically about taking back what you rightfully deserve. So you're after the crown, and it can also be flipped as to what happens after you have the crown, after the crown. What happens after the crown?
Yeah.
What happens when you got what you've been chasing for so long?
Dave, anything you want to add?
No, the influence from it, too, came from inspiration from a relationship that I had, too, where I was kind of getting, I would say, bullied, I guess. And Ross, he wrote, he drew inspiration from me and another relationship, that his roommate, Jeremy. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty cool. And, I really, that's all I have to add.
Yeah, because your drums are amazing on that song.
Oh, thanks. I enjoyed.
Like I said, it's a very hard song, and when I heard it for the first time, I'm like, am I listening to DayRollers? Is this actually DayRollers?
Yeah, there's actually several reasons that track is the first track on the album. And for me in particular, I'm very, very big on track listing. I like the song to flow like a movie. Like, I want you to put it in, listen to it, and I want you to be taken on a journey where you don't have to bounce around. You just put it in and follow along the whole time. Mm-hmm. And that first song is such a drastic change from our old sound that I feel like the shock of hearing it first, plus, I mean, ever since the song's inception, it was kind of intended to be the opener and the first song, so we wanted to turn heads with it.
Yeah, well, you definitely turned my head. So, guys, without any further ado, here is After the Crown.
Isn't an act to pull the knife from our backs and to remember the facts, cause after all these years we hid all of our fears. Let us welcome you to hell, where we know each other well. The grand design will change this time. Stand to fight, to change your life. Buried under the noise without a reason or choice, not even left with a voice. We've been completely destroyed. We're building up from the ground. We're coming after you now. We're coming after the crown, burning your kingdom down. Let us welcome you to hell, where we know each other well. The grand design will change this time. Stand to fight, to change your life.
Hard song. I swear to God, guys, I love that song because when I first, like you said, it was intended to be the opening track because you wanted to turn heads, and it really comes up and slaps you in the face and says, "Hey, we're the DayRollers, new sound." So brilliant by putting that as the opening track, and that was actually something that my fiance and I talked about when we were trying to do the track listing for which songs we were going to play on the show. She said, I think you should put After the Crown first because it really comes out and slaps you in the face and it says, look, they're different. So that, you know, that we even decided it should go first. So
That's what I like about, like, when I put in a CD and I push play, I really hate it when the first song is a band single because I want that first song to be something that I had not heard yet, and it grabs me and slaps me across the face, basically.
yeah.
I like a heavy hit.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I like a heavy hitter to be the first track. I want it to grab your attention right away.
You know, and I like albums that you can honestly listen to from beginning to end without really skipping any tracks, because you can be like, nah, I don't feel this track. And honestly, the new album is like that for me. I can listen to it from beginning to end without really wanting to skip a track.
That's really great to hear you say that, because there is some diversity on the album. You know, it hits heavy, but there's some changes along the way, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like a roller coaster ride, so.
Yeah, it is, because it starts out hard, and then it gets a little soft, and then it picks up, and then it goes down soft, and then it picks up, and then it finishes strong. So, you know, I was going to say one of the first albums in a very long time that I was able to pick up and play from beginning to end without wanting to skip a track was Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park.
Hybrid Theory.
There's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, I remember when that came out. You know, my very first concert was Nickelback in the year 2000, and I ended up on my way out of the House of Blues, somebody handed me a cassette tape, a Linkin Park sampler. It had 2 songs on there. Back when they still passed out cassette tapes.
Back when they still passed out cassette tapes. But, yeah, speaking of concerts, in April, you guys had a CD release show at Route 20. And that place, I've been to Route 20 many of times for shows. And I've been there for local shows. And I was there for We As Human with 1,000 Foot Crutch.
We As Human.
We As Human.
God, I love We As Human. But, yeah, anyway, so I was there for We As Human and 1,000 Foot Crutch. And that place was jam-packed. Like, elbow to elbow. And for those of you that haven't been to Route 20, my first question for you is, where have you been sleeping? Because that place is a landmark. I mean, it's kind of new, right? It's new compared to the Brat Stop, and the Brat Stop's pretty huge.
Oh, yeah. Route 20's been there for
at least 10
I
years.
want to say five or 6, maybe at least. Because the first time I went there was actually to cover a trap show with Kelly Levins, the Rock Examiner.
Okay.
And that was before I joined the DayRollers. I joined the DayRollers in 2015, so it's been there at least 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Great place, great staff, and the sound is awesome too.
The staff is amazing there. I went there, and I think it was for your guys' CD release show. I was in my wheelchair for the first time, really, going to a show, and they treated me with the utmost respect. Utmost respect. They wanted to make sure I could get in front. They want, like, people would, not saying I want the Red Sea parted because I'm disabled, but you get what I'm saying. They treated me like I was a person and wanted to make sure I got just as much of an experience as everybody else, which to me was awesome. But yeah, that place was packed. And a video that I actually wanted to play for this, which unfortunately I wasn't able to get a hold of Tia to actually get this video. But there is a video, and I think it's on YouTube, but I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely on Facebook. But you guys were playing, and I can't remember which song it was. You were playing a song, and the whole crowd was singing along with you. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I'm going to guess that it was Stand Up.
Yeah, usually it was Stand Up.
So we have a part where we teach the audience the chorus if they don't know it and give them an opportunity to sing along. And yeah, there's been a couple times where it's been exceptionally loud, and there's no feeling like hearing someone sing your song back. Especially when it's more than just 1 or 2 people. You get a whole room singing your lyrics that you wrote.
Yeah.
It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, and that crowd was electric. I mean, I've seen you guys at least 3 or 4 times, and part of the reason why I haven't seen DayRollers as much is because I'm disabled, and driving distances is just not friendly for me, unfortunately. And going further than a half hour, 45 minutes, I'm usually in pain, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So I apologize, guys. I apologize. You know I want to be to more shows. It's just really difficult for me. But compared to shows I've seen you at and this show, I have to say the crowd reaction was more amazing than any show I've seen you guys at.
Awesome.
Especially when you did the glow stick drum solo.
We put a lot of work into that show, and not to say that we don't put a lot of work into our other shows, but a lot of the times when we play a show, we're on somebody else's bill and we promote it, but we're not the promoters, you know what I mean? And we had to act as the promoters for the show. So Josh from Resistance and myself put in a lot of work to ensure that we had the turnout that we wanted, that we could recoup the money and invest it, and hopefully turn around a little bit of a profit. And it was definitely, we hoped for at least 200 people, and we definitely had that.
Mm-hmm. Which we won something. My fiance and I won something because we took part in the raffle. And
what did you win?
We run the DayRollers, or we won the bear wearing the DayRollers t-shirt.
Oh, so that's where that went.
Yeah, we named it Ross Ababe.
What? Ross Ababe?
Ross Ababe.
Mm.
So it's all your names together.
Oh,
It's clever.
It was the only thing I could think of. She goes, "What are you going to name the bear?" I said, Ross Ababe. And she goes, "What? Ross Ababe." It's all their names together. She started laughing.
it almost sounded like you're saying Ross the Babe.
Well, Ross is a babe.
Thank you.
And Ross just has the hair to be the babe.
Yeah, when it cooperates.
So, on the new CD, you guys did something that, I gotta say, I've only really seen this done by Rush. And that's taking 3 different songs and making it part 1, part 2, part 3. And I've only really seen that done by Rush, which, in my opinion, is the greatest band ever formed. Matter of fact, when you type in Rush in Google search, it'll say, "Did you mean the Holy Trinity?" So, I'm probably gonna, get penalized by God for saying that, but it's okay. I think Rush is amazing. So, what inspired you guys to put, 3 songs together as part 1, part 2, part 3, and what is the meaning behind it? And you get where I'm trying to go with this.
All right, so Contrapasso and Chase the Rain. Originally, when we did Push and Pull, we did a couple songs and made 1 and 2 part, and I wanted to do that again. So when we started working on Contrapasso and Chase the Rain, Seb had brought a song to the table called Drowning in the Rain. And I was basically trying to tell a story of somebody that's stuck in their ways that could change but isn't willing to make the effort to change. I mean, it deals with suffering and loss in the rain, and it seemed like perfect closer. And we found a way to kind of blend them into one piece of music, if that makes sense. I've always been a fan of Concept. It was one of the best concept albums. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Mm-hmm. Or the new Tool album, Fear Inoculum, is pretty incredible too.
Which I haven't heard that yet, by the way, but it beat out Taylor Swift as #1 album, I'm told.
That's great. That's what I've been seeing. Tool did a great job. I mean, you wait 13 years for an album, and it's either going to be what you want or it's not, but either way, it's going to be a piece of art that's incredible. They took a lot of time to make it, and you could tell when you listen to it. These songs are 10, 15 minutes long, and they're masterpieces. Mm-hmm. I would love to write a concept album someday. From the beginning to the end, like Dark Side of the Moon, it's one long musical structure. You don't know where the song starts and ends because they blend so well together.
Yeah. And if you play it during Wizard of Oz...
I've heard that, but I've never...
And it fits so well. I don't know if they were actually trying to do that or not, but it does work. It's like you got to start it right after the second lion roar.
Okay.
So, I mean, for those of you at home, you should try it. But it does work. But so the song that we're going to play next is Contrapasso, which is part of that 3-part trilogy that's on the new album, The Bright Side of Black, right?
Yeah. Do you know what the definition of contrapasso is?
Oh, I'm sure you're going to tell us because I know I'm illiterate and don't know.
It has to do with Dante's Inferno and the 7 layers of hell, where basically it means the punishment fits the crime.
Oh my!
So you deserve what you get.
So you just went Neil Peart on us, didn't you?
I suppose a little bit. There's nothing wrong with Neil Peart, one of the best drummers in the world.
Neil Peart, oh man, we're going back on Rush again. But to me, God decided he needed to create a drummer, and he gave us Neil Peart. That's my honest opinion, because
I won't argue that.
Like, for me, it's Neil Peart, and then it's Joey Jorgensen. I can't think of anybody better than the two of them.
They're both great.
Yeah. So, guys, check out I see. I knew I was gonna mess it up. Contrapasso. So check it out.
What bothers you the most? What haunts you like a ghost? What eats you alive and keeps you up at night? What steals from your mind? What leaves you broken and blind? Are all the answers you find what you expect from this life? Wait, while you're standing there in place, holding on to this debate, you make all the same mistakes, tracing down the same old fate. You never see, you always lose. You dig your grave when you lay down. You'll never change, you'll find your way around. No escape, no way out. You'll never leave the comfort of the ground. You have plenty of time, but you can't go back and rewrite what you've done with your life. The biggest parts that you wish you could deny, the ones that taunt you as they haunt you till you're broken and blind. Can you say that you have changed? Can you say you're not the same? Can you say there's clearly nothing standing in your way? Can you say you're not to blame? Can you say you have no shame? Can you say you give yourself a better chance today?
Ross gave us his Law and Order SVU obsession, and told us how he pretty much came up with the name for the last song, Contrapasso.
I was watching SVU one day, and the episode title came on, and it was Contrapasso, and I was really intrigued by the word and wanted to see what it meant. So when I looked it up, I figured, that would actually make sense and be a good title for the song that I don't have a title for.
Which brings me to my meaning, or the knowledge of words that I have no clue what they mean. When I was in high school and people were discovering I could sing, which, Ross, I don't think you've ever heard me sing.
No, you've mentioned it to me before.
Yeah. I do karaoke and I write here and there, but a buddy of mine wanted to start a band with me. And I was like, okay, what are you going to call this band? And he said, Medulla Oblongata. And I'm like...
Is that a Waterboy reference?
What's that?
Is that a Waterboy reference?
This was before Waterboy even came out.
You talking 90s?
Yeah, this was early 90s, before Waterboy came out.
Damn.
And I had to look it up. I went to a dictionary because this was before we had the internet. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good title name for a band. I mean, the definition sounds awesome, but dude, could you imagine somebody in front of stage saying, everybody get on your feet for Medulla Oblongata? Like, dude, that just sounds painful to say.
And now most people would probably only think of an Adam Sandler movie.
I know, right? It's where anger, jealousy, and aggression come from. Oh, man. So, God, it must have been like 2-3 months ago. For those of you that don't know Ross, he touched a little bit, but Ross had an obsession with a band that everyone used to make fun of. And even I poke fun, but I like this band, but I just do it because it's the trendy thing to do, which is Nickelback. Nickelback is Ross's favorite band.
Yeah, they for a very long time. I liked them way before it was cool.
Ross and I had a discussion about this. My favorite song, which was on Silver Side Up, which is what really got me into them. And then I think it was their third or fourth. Started to dislike them, and then it was the one with the horseshoe on it.
Dark Horse. And said I needed to listen to it, and there was a couple songs that I liked, but Sex stood out to me the best. You like Sex?
Who doesn't like Sex?
Yeah.
No, the song Sex, and I don't even think it. Do they call it Sex, or they just call it SEX?
I think I've never seen him play it live or anything, but I'm pretty sure they refer to it as Sex. So, I mean, in the song, he breaks each letter down and says what they stand for. So I think that's why the title is SEX. But
yeah, and even Korn back in the day, they referred to Adidas as Adidas. They didn't say All Day I Dream About Sex. Is the name of them.
Yeah.
So, but Ross actually got to get up on stage with Nickelback and play guitar with Nickelback. So be jealous, and all you haters, keep hating.
So, it was a lot of fun. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, I got to see like 6 different videos. There was even one that was pretty far back. You and I actually talked about this. We have no clue who this lady is.
I figured it out now. But
oh, you did now?
Well, yeah, because so when we got home, somebody posted a video of my performance with Nickelback to the DayRollers page. They found us because of Will Rock. The woman was a Will Rock listener, and I don't know if she recognized me or if they said something and she put 2 and 2 together, but she figured out who I was and that I was with the DayRollers, so she posted it to the page. She added me on Facebook after that, so I talked to her about it a little bit. Got a few, actually.
Well,
I thought about a DayRollers shirt under my...
and if you're like Tom Keefe, you should have worn a Will Brock shirt, but we won't hold that again.
Yeah, as Tom says.
All that or no?
I got a couple handshakes and a couple of hugs, but outside of that, I didn't get to meet traditionally. I got up on stage, chat for a minute or two before the song, played the song, and then I went back to my seat. And that was the extent of my interaction with them. Short and sweet. So technically, I'd say I still haven't gotten to meet them.
And they're telling me getting on stage for them was just like 5 seconds to get you ready.
Yeah, it was, they're a well-oiled machine, and there's a reason that, they sell as many tickets as they do. They got a great live show and never miss a beat. Even when they decide to detour from the set list and do a little improv, they don't miss a beat. Mm-hmm. I walk up on stage, and Chad asked me my name. One guy came up behind me. He basically snuck up on me and started putting some in-ear monitors on me, and this other guy walked up and gave me a guitar, and I was like 1, 2, ready to go.
Yeah. Now, have you ever used in-ears before or no?
No, that was my first time, but I've been looking into them for the last year or so, and I really wanted to invest in some. And after using them, I sold. I really want a pair for myself. Yeah. It was awesome. The being able to hear the mix the same anywhere you go.
Yeah. Dave, how do you feel about Ross being on stage with Nickelback? Are you worried that he's going to leave you guys for Nickelback?
If he got that opportunity, I'd be incredibly happy for him. But I don't know what he would do, I think he would take it because that's like a once-in-a-lifetime, so.
Well, Chad wouldn't have to play guitar and sing anymore. He could just sing.
Yeah, he does that sometimes now, too. Once in a while, one of their techs will come out and play guitar, and he'll wander around without the guitar, with just a microphone. I like him better with the guitar, personally.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm sorry, that's something you can cross off your bucket list and be sitting there when you're 7 talking to your grandkids being like, Sonny, I played with Nickelback. So,
you sound like the guy from Nosferatu.
Oh, man.
Spock in the Star Trek movies, new ones.
Yeah.
What's his name?
So the next song that we're going to play, we're actually going to play the video. And the video is completely powerful. I love this video. And that's for Choices, which actually from what I looked at on the DayRollers page, it's number 3 in Australia.
Hell yeah.
That is something. So
we have a few stations in the UK that play it just about daily too. They don't rate it or anything, but they've been playing it on a daily basis, which is pretty cool. KOR radio.
So you want to tell us the concept with the video and the song for Choices? Because it's really powerful. And I think it's a message that a lot of people should hear.
Choices... It's about, obviously, the choices we make and how they affect us. But when we did the video, we wanted to basically show a guy that was kind of losing his sanity and on a downward spiral. When you watch the video, you see an actor who's, he's losing his mind. He's doing drugs. He's drinking. And at the end of the video, he comes to realize that his choices aren't the best. Mm. So you see Seb pop up, and Seb's actually supposed to represent himself. Like, the actor and Seb are representing the same people, and at the end, the guy kind of sees himself for who he really is.
Yeah. Now, was that film? Whose house was that filmed in?
Our friend Brandy let us use her house.
Okay.
Brandy, are you familiar with Brandy? Brandy Budzinski?
Yep.
She's a sweetheart. She helps us out sometimes, and
She's a huge DayRollers fan. Let's give a shout out to Brandy. Hi, Brandy.
Hi, Brandy. Yeah, she has they moved recently, but up until last year, they had a really beautiful log house down the road from me. And we thought it would be a cool setting for a music video, and I feel like it turned out pretty well.
Yeah.
We also shot the live performance at Studio East in 95 Will Rock.
Oh, wow, really? Well, you guys are like in with 95 Will Rock, which kind of makes me jealous.
Yeah, we built a relationship with them over the years since Bandemonium 2015, and they've we did some jingles, and they've been good to us. Yeah. And anytime they ask us for a favor, we're always down to help. So,
Tom Keefe is one of my heroes. So, Tom Keefe, if you ever listen to this, you are one of my heroes. Since I was growing up, I wanted to be a radio DJ, and you are one of my heroes and inspirations. There.
Tom's amazing. He's good at his job. That dude doesn't miss a beat.
Oh, God. He's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. In person, he's kind of really serious. But when you hear him on the radio, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So, and all you guys are actually in the video.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you that have been listening, Ross is the one that has the hair that stands out. And David is the pretty boy.
Yeah.
And
the bad boy.
Somebody brought this to my attention when I was trying to play DayRollers for them for the first time. And they said, "Oh, I've seen DayRollers before." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, you have?" And then they asked me a question about Seb, which is why I'm kind of sad that he's not here, because he could probably answer the question. And
what's the question? Maybe we can answer it.
They said, "Why is he wearing a do-rag and a hat whenever he's on stage?" And I'm like, I
he
don't
never
know.
takes a do-rag off. If you try and take it off of him, he will fight you.
I know, but the question is, why does he always wear a do-rag and a hat? And I'm like,
it might have something to do with him cutting his own hair, and maybe it looks shit. I don't know. I haven't seen his hair in years. I don't know.
But like, that was the question that was brought to my attention, and I was just like, when I have them on my podcast again, I will definitely ask that question.
I think he's growing roots under there. I don't know. It's been a while.
It's probably glued to his head now or something.
So, Seb, we're sorry.
That's his style, I guess.
I don't know. He pulls it off, though.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, check out this amazing video for Choices.
You don't know pain to feel insane. We're not the same.
All right, we're back. That was Choices, the video. Absolutely amazing. You know, the really sad thing is I wasn't involved in that video. I've been in a lot of videos. I was in the most recent video for the Almas. I was the boss in the first rules video for Can't Wait to Be Famous.
Oh, I remember that one. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, did you see the new Almas video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Ron from Hijack were like, dude, we want to be centers. We want a good shot of us being in the video. And I turned around to face him, and I'm like, dude, we'll do the lift. And he goes, the lift? And I was like, yeah, Dirty Dancing. We're going to do the lift. You run and jump, and I'll catch you. So we did that like 5 times. And sadly, it did not make the video. And one time, he literally flew over my head. It was great. It was great. So
maybe you should be a basketball player.
I should be a basketball player? Wheelchair basketball?
Ron. If Ron can jump over you, maybe he can play basketball.
Ron's a great guy, though. Ron's a great guy. Have you ever done a show with Hijack?
No, but funny story about Ron was I met Ron at a friend's wedding even before I joined the DayRollers. I don't even think he was in a band at the time. But we added each other on Facebook, and we've kind of been able to watch each other grow over the years on Facebook. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy. And for those of you that hear me doing my vape, which I'm sure you do, you should go to Corner Vapory in Kenosha. It's right there on 30th Avenue and 75th Street. One of the best vape shops that you can go to. Really great staff, extremely friendly. I'm actually going to be they're working on an idea, and this is leading into a hint to the DayRollers, where they have a back room, and they want to turn it into potentially a concert venue. And I said, dude, if you do a concert venue, I got you. I will do all the booking for you, everything. Just let me go to the show for free. I'm like, dude, just let me into the show for free. I got you. So there's something that might be coming, DayRollers, where I'll be like, dude, I really need you guys to play this show.
We'd be interested. Let us know.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys have just grown so much, and you guys so much for coming on again. The first ever second time guest.
It's an honor to behold.
That's just, I mean, do you guys have any shows that are coming up within the next couple weeks or month or so?
Our next show is September 28th at a place called Alibi Pub and Grub in Wonder Lake. We're playing with, the only band I can think of right now is Mudfish. I don't know if you've heard of Mudfish. But
I have.
They have an end of summer party going on. They got bands all day from like 1 to midnight. We play at 6:30 at the Alibi Pub and Grub in Wonder Lake. Mm-hmm. And then I think we got something coming up with Mixed Company for Halloween, but I'm not sure if that's been confirmed yet, so I don't want to say any more. Just keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Yeah, because you guys always do a Halloween show.
Yeah, we were trying to do Night of the Living DayRollers 4 this year, but we couldn't actually lock in a venue that suited our needs. So unfortunately, we won't be doing Night of the Living DayRollers 4, but hopefully next year.
Everybody, you can cry now. Aww.
Yeah. We were trying to plan it 2 months ago, and all the venues we wanted to try and have it at were already booked. So I guess we should book it for next year now.
Right? That sounds like an idea. Let's try do it at Route 20 again. Oh my goodness.
That was our first choice, but they already have some shows that weekend, and we didn't want to do it like 2 weeks before or after Halloween. That's kind of lame.
Yeah. So the last song that we're going to play, which this is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, and because everybody loves a good cover song. So let's get into this with, we'll ask Dave first since he's been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
And I think he's mad at me because I like Tom Holland over Tobey Maguire.
No, you're free to like Tom Holland.
Not Andrew Garfield.
I'm not gonna lie. When Tobey Maguire first came out, I fell in love with Tobey Maguire.
I think everybody did.
And then the Andrew Garfield thing happened, and I was like, no, what are you doing? Which we actually had this discussion. Now we're gonna get on Spider-Man because I love Spider-Man, and I think Dave loves Spider-Man more than I do because he has a Spider-Man tattoo on his chest.
Yeah, I was the perfect age when Spider-Man hit. We were in high school, and I have a genuine love for the character. And when I saw the movie, it just hit home, and I loved the heart in it. I loved the feel, the tone, everything. The score by Danny Elfman is it's fantastic. And then they came out with 2, and they just did everything a little bit better.
Yeah,
and I've never walked out of a movie other than Spider-Man 2 where my soul was like weeping in tears of happiness.
Yeah.
I was so happy. It was incredible.
I was unable to see the first Spider-Man in theaters, but I did see the second one in theaters, and I am having a brain fart on his name, but the casting for Doc Ock was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And my only problem with Tobey Maguire's series was the third one. Because I thought they put too much emphasis on Sandman, and as much as I love that 70s show, why would you cast Topher Grace for Venom?
Yeah, a lot of people had that
I heard rumors of why Topher Grace played Venom. Like Tobey Maguire got drunk and said he no longer wants to do Spider-Man anymore, and they casted Topher Grace to play Spider-Man. And then Tobey Maguire was like, oh no, I was just drunk. So they already had Topher Grace in their contract. So they're like, oh, well, you can play Venom now.
Well, I don't know about that.
That's a rumor I heard. And rumors, it's not always true. But the other problem I had with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was he never shot webs out of his wrist right away. That was like something that happened far in time. Which is why I like the Andrew Garfield. The only reason I like the Andrew Garfield one is it showed that he had to make his own web shooters.
Yeah, that was sorry.
No, and then with the Tom Holland, it was, well, you all know the origin story of Spider-Man, so we're not going to bore you with that. Let's just jump right into what's going on.
Which is what they should have did with the Andrew Garfield series, but whatever.
Yeah. So, anyway, back to music. I went on my Spider-Man rant because I cannot not talk about Spider-Man. But, anyway. So, what are some of your favorite cover songs that you have heard?
You asking me or you asking Ross?
Well, I'm asking both of you guys, but we're going to start with you.
Favorite cover songs. Okay, I'm probably going to get shit for this one, but I'm going to say it anyway. Just because I just found out that Eddie Money passed away. Bless him and his music soul. Hinder did a cover of Take Me Home Tonight, and I was actually impressed by it. Kind of really like Austin Winkler's voice for that song. I thought he did a really good job, and I thought the band did a really good job with that song.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I don't know if anyone has heard that cover, but I really enjoy that cover.
Yeah. There was, I have to look it up on my phone, but I think Theory of a Dead Man did a cover of, I can't remember the name of it. I heard, I Google searching covers, and that popped up, and I was like, oh, I want to listen to that. And I'm pulling it up on my phone in my playlist of Everybody Loves a Good Cover. And I know it's here. Hang on. Oh, they covered Wicked Game.
Oh, okay.
As did Him.
Wait, who covered a game?
Him, the band Him, and
Yeah.
Theory of a Dead Man.
I think Stone Sour covered it acoustic at one point too.
Yeah. I really like Seasons After's rendition of Cry Little Sister.
I'll have to look that one up.
Also, Take Me by Real Big Fish. That was good. Really good.
One of my favorite bands, 12 Stones, they did a cover of Seal, Kiss from a Rose.
Oh, yeah.
And I really like that version that they did.
There was another Steel cover by Mushroom Head. They did Crazy.
Cool.
That was phenomenal. So, Ross, what are some of your favorite cover songs?
Oh, I don't even know. Nickelback did a really cool cover of Dirty Laundry. You ever heard the song Dirty Laundry?
Yes, I love that song. That's such a good 80s song.
You look it up sometime. They did a really hard rock version, and it's really good. I can't think of many covers I like right now, but one that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, Avenged Sevenfold covered Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd.
Oh, God.
Did you ever hear that one?
Yes, I have. Oh,
It's one of my favorite Pink Floyd songs, and I don't mind Avenged, but I can't stand M. Shadow's voice on that song.
yeah. You know, there's a song that I did for karaoke for the longest time. Come Together by the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
And I sing it just like Godsmack does. But I started doing it like that before Godsmack actually published their rendition of Come Together. And then when I did it one time and said, dude, you sound just like Godsmack doing it. I was like, Godsmack covered Come Together? And then I went and heard it and said, oh my God, I sound just like this. I sing it just like Sully Erna. Which was kind of like, I don't know if I took it as a compliment or if I was ripping somebody off. I don't know.
There was a cover within the last year or two of Come Together on the radio that wasn't Godsmack, and I forget who it was, but it was a really cool version.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a guy's name, like not like a band name, but like a solo artist of some kind. It was really rocking. I'm going to have to find it out and send you a link to it.
Yeah. And there's a handful of the local music scene that actually does covers now. And Motion Picture Mindset did Paper Planes. Slaughter Party has done Ballroom Blitz and Beastie Boys. The First Rule always does a couple covers because they do that in their Kickstarter. But you guys actually did Paint It Black. And I gotta say, I love the original, but you guys just make it a little harder. Why did you guys choose to do Paint It Black?
Remember why we chose to do that?
Yeah, actually, we sent a demo to Eric LeBross at Cherry Pit, and it was Seb singing a little verse or a line from it, and Eric just did it, and he said, "You guys knew that song," so that was kind of like, all right, maybe we should look into this, and then we started jamming it, and we were like, yeah, this is actually a lot more fun than we thought it would be, and I mean, it came together real smooth, like it was quick, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we had sent Eric like 30 or 40 songs, demos of different songs, including that one cover, and I kept telling Seb, I'm like, why are you sending him a cover? He's gonna pick a cover. He wants your own music, and then the first thing he says is, do the cover. So we did one cover and 9 originals out of about 30 or 40 songs that we had to choose from.
Yeah. And Eric knows his music.
Great producer. He's a lot of fun to work with. with. We always come out of the studio a better band every time.
Yeah, and he knows me. He's got a bunch of awards even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we pick covers too, we always kind of try to figure out like what would work with our voices, because since we're all singers, we try to figure out what we can kind of sing and sound pretty good or adapt. And with Seb's voice actually does have a pretty smooth ring to it.
All right. Well, we're going to play Paint It Black, but before we go, I want to thank the DayRollers on again. It was fun, insightful, and fun to have you guys on again. Any shout-outs that you guys want to give before we wrap things up?
Thanks to everybody that's been following and supporting us for the last few years. Stick around, we got more coming. We're working on new music, and we'll be booking some more shows, hopefully a spring tour.
And we're gonna be working on a new music video here shortly too. So stay in tune for that.
All right, I want to give a shout out that I promised to give as soon as everything was back up and running. I want to give a huge shout out to Jake and hashtag Uncle Drew around the bar. They are another podcast that is strictly sports, but they are a great group of guys, and you should really check them out. So here's the sports round. I am Frankie, and this is the Unsigned and Unhinged Meltdown. Saying we'll see you later.
Bye now.
Peace.
I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. I see a line of cars and they're all painted black, with flowers and my love both never to come back. I see people turn their heads and quickly look away, like a newborn baby, it just happens every day. I look inside myself and see my heart is black. I see my red door, I must have it painted black. Maybe then I'll fade away and I have to face the facts. It's not easy facing up when your whole world is black. No more will my green seagull turn a deeper blue. I could not foresee this thing happening to you. If I look hard enough onto the setting sun, my love will laugh at me before the morning comes. I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. I wanna see it painted, painted black. Black is night, black is cold. I wanna see the sun fly out from the sky. I wanna see